This is Breck Palumbo from DistressPro.com. It's New Year's Day, and I've been thinking a lot about performance, how to improve it. I've been thinking about my 2013 and thinking about yours. I put together this template, and I hope it's useful for you. It's a real estate transaction tracker, and the purpose of this template is to give you a starting point for how to evaluate your year's performance so that you know or you can figure out what you need to do in the coming year in order to improve. In the words of Peter Drucker, what's measured improves. And so if you're not tracking and measuring the different parts of your business and what's driving them, what's working, and then doubling down on that and see what's not working and eliminating that, then there's no way to grow. You need to have this kind of information to grow. So here's the template. It's called the Real Estate Transaction Tracker, and I've appended the website name on the end there. If you come here and you click Use this template, you'll get a copy of the spreadsheet like this, and I just want to take a moment to walk you through it. It's got a few frozen cells, which means that you can move around it like this without losing the header in the side. And so there are a few basic parts to it. The first one is the name of the deal or the address. Now, I don't care if you're in the note business or if you're in the real estate business, but I do care that this is really for people who make money transacting. And so that includes brokers, wholesalers, flippers, and the like. People who have real estate come in and then move out of their lives, and that's how, or notes come in and move out of their lives, and that's how they make money. And so that's who this is for. If you're in acquisitions or something, this isn't going to be very good for you. So here's what we've done. I've put a couple of samples in here so when you get it, you can see what's going on. And here are the columns. There's the name or the deal of the address. So this is how you're going to identify the address. Now, if you did a pool, you can use of notes or something, or a single note, you can just use that. You can use whatever identifier you have there, loan number, etc., but something where it means something to you. The next step is if there is a buyer involved. If it was now you're going to be on any number of sides of these transactions. You may have a buyer and a seller. You may be a buyer, or there was a seller, or maybe there's different ways that this works. But I want to give you all the slots so that you can fill these in as you go through. So in this case, I've got this 4 Main Street in Cambridge, and I say, all right, well, here's Joe Developer. Well, where did this guy come from? And so what I've put in here are a bunch of drop downs, so you can go ahead and you can pick where the folks came from so that you know. And this is important because if you're out there spending a lot of time and a lot of money on things that aren't working, then stop it and spend your time and your money. Spend double the time and money on the things that really are working. The only way you're going to know that is if you come in here and you really have a look. So that's what this column is for. Go ahead and pick the source of your deal. Now, if there's a seller, maybe it's cute, maybe it's not, called Mr. Old Dude. Here's our seller's source, and where did this guy come from? I've had a lot of success with direct mail in my real estate career, and so I just selected this for the sample and put direct mail. Here's notes. This is just notes about what you've done or what the deal was about, so it can remind you and refresh your memory, and you can get a better understanding of it. Now here's gross. What I want you to use for gross is the gross sales amount of the deal. So if the property traded at $350,000, we're going to put $350,000 in here. If the pool of notes traded at $500,000 or at $1 million or whatever it is, then use that number here for the gross. The next number is the net to you. This is the revenue to you. So if you bought a house and then you flipped the house and you sold the house for a gross of $250,000 and you netted $20,000, that's the revenue that came to you into your either business or if you're not incorporated, then that came to you directly. Then that's the number that you want to put here. If you're a real estate broker, it's your commission. If you're a wholesaler, it's your margin. If you're a flipper, it's your margin. So that is what you want to do, is put your net there. And then what'll happen is up here, you're going to get an automatic calculation for, as you can see, here's 500 and 350. That gives me gross sales for the year of $850,000. This is my total deal volume. And then here's 425, and this gives me my average deal size. And this is a really important number because the average deal size is the number, one of the numbers that you're going to use in order to forecast and plan for making 2014 huge. If you don't have, a lot of people will say, well, I don't really have an average deal size. You know, I'll do a $100,000 deal and I've done $1 million deal. Well, if that's the case, then you just add them together, and that's 1.1 million. That's an average of $550,000 per deal. So you do have an average per deal, okay? The next thing that you're going to have is we're going to have your total, and these are calculated automatically. You have your total commissions, your total net, your total margin. This is the total amount of money that you've made over these transactions. And then you have, again, down here, this is the average amount of money that you've made per transaction. These things, everything up above here, everything in rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you don't need to touch any of this. This is all calculated automatically. And then here is our margin. And so in this case, in this particular scenario with these two deals that I have on here, this person, or if this was my deal, I'd be making 6.47% on average on the gross sales prices of the transactions that I'm doing. Now, this is not a substitute for Quicken or for proper accounting or bookkeeping or anything like that, and that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to be able to get all your deals down, and I made slots for 45 or 50 deals. If you did more than 45 or 50 deals, you should probably hire somebody to do this because you're definitely making enough money. Don't do this yourself. It's not a good use of your time. If you did fewer than them, then come in here and go through, list each deal. List if there was a buyer, put the buyer's name, say where you found them. If there was a seller, put the seller's name, say where you found them. And we've got everything in here: brokers, meetups, RIAs, email, whatever, LinkedIn. And then make a few notes about it so that you remember what it's for. Put in the gross sales price for it, and then put in the net for you, what you made at the end of the deal. And so what you want to do is get a full view of this, and I think what you're going to find if you're somebody who did some deals last year is you're going to get down these rows and there's going to be a pattern that's going to start to emerge. And then you're going to look at some things and you're going to say, well, geez, I spent X amount of time going to networking meetings and I didn't get any deals out of that. That isn't a good use of my time anymore. I'm not going to do that. Or you could go through and you could say, geez, all my deals came from networking. I'm going to stop. I may as well just stop cold calling. I'll double down on that. I'll go, instead of going twice a month, I'm going to go 4 times a month, and I'll find more meetings. I'll put together my own meetings. And so the first thing to do is to understand if you want to double your business, and that's what I want to help you do. I've got working on a campaign over the next 4 weeks through January. I want to help people get ready to do more business. And the first part of that is understanding what you did for business in the year prior. Okay? If you didn't do any business last year, if you didn't do any business at all, you need to look at why is that? What stopped you? What is it that's holding you back? Now, my business, I did not double it last year. I grew by about 60%. And as I look back over the year, I have a lot of reasons for that, and I'll go into that maybe in another podcast. I should have doubled, I should have tripled my business. I grew by 60%, and most of it, quite frankly, comes down to distraction. I had of various different things, different rabbits that I went chasing down, and as the Chinese proverb says, man who chases 2 rabbits catches none. Now in this case, I did happen to grow the business by 60%. That's awesome, but like I said, it should have been double or triple. Now I'd submit to you that if you didn't start your business this year and you're still looking around, thinking about it, learning, trying to figure stuff out, then I'd submit to you that you are probably chasing too many rabbits and you're spending too much time trying to learn all the different things when what you really need to do is get out there and make a deal and find a deal. And so probably the fastest way for you to do that is to do wholesaling. But that's not what this video is about. What this video is about is understanding, for those of us who did do deals last year, where did my deals come from? How did I get them? What should I double down on? And what should I eliminate? What should I automate? And I've got more stuff like this coming up. If you have questions, I want you to ask me in the comments section on the blog, or you can submit them to support@distresspro.com. And look for updates to this. I have one final section over here, instructions. And as I get questions from people about this, part of the reason why I made this a Google Docs template is that what I'm going to do is I can edit this on the fly. And so as you ask me questions and more information comes in, I can update this. I hope this is useful for you. I hope you're going to have an awesome 2014. Shoot to double. If you haven't started yet, then shoot to start. And that's it. And you'll be hearing a lot from me over the next 4 weeks. Breck Palumbo with DistressedPro.com.